She's nervous still, Katie Taylor. Rushing with her hand in the air as if, listen, you're only postponing the inevitable, I got it.
It's kind of, I suppose it's always kind of in the back of my mind because the Olympics has always been a dream really ever since I started boxing, so people are always talking to me about the Olympics, and even my friends, you know, they're telling me they got tickets for the finals for the Olympics, and I said I haven't even got there yet, like no pressure, but
a football match or an all-Ireland final, but it is Olympic boxing, women's Olympic boxing for the very first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by a score of 26 points to 15.
We came here to win gold and not for bronze medals. We don't do bronze medals, you know.
There were blue skies in my city today.
You know, she is the only reason female boxing is in the Olympic Games. Do I expect her to win a gold medal? Yeah.
And for the first time in the course of the Olympic tournament, the #1 seed, Katie Taylor, is trailing at the end of the second round.
But nothing is guaranteed. You know, once you get the point ahead in the second round, it's a different fight.
So as the bell sounds to bring about a conclusion of the third round, look at the reaction of the Irish fans in attendance here at the XL Arena. And what that signifies is that their poster girl, their amateur boxing superstar, has taken a 2-point lead. It's 7-5 in Katie Taylor's favour.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by a score of 10 points to 8, and the Olympic champion,
Katie Taylor is the champion of the Olympic Games. Gold is precious, and so is its current wearer.
Till the tide wash me up off the west way.
10 points to 9. Katie Taylor! Katie Taylor, champion of bowl agus champion Olympics and Joe. Tasha Grudge, Katie Taylor, and later go husband to the east and see about the shin. She hen agus Dad, agus Billy, agus Far, Georgia. Tasha the point bottom the Michael. Oh, need to go down. Loud Muhammad, boy from the head, Maud gone. Grania Wayne, Mary Robinson, Mother Faculty, hashtag the Lord the Don, Shuddy and Dan, Tom Rusha Hagari, Ivan Ungari Rusha, Tak Nachara, Tak Kalignachara, Tashi Long the Aid, Agus Ducci Raid, or a Japan Katie Taylor, so the Japanese Jack Sabonia, Horbe, and later go Haffold, oh, later go down.
Katie Taylor, thanks so much for coming into the studio.
Oh, thank you.
Did you enjoy listening to a little bit of that?
Oh, it was brilliant actually. I haven't actually listened to any of that before, so
Yeah.
it was great to...
That was Sean Bon Brannock at the
Oh,
end
it's-
on Radio Nagail. They're getting particularly
Very
excited.
emotional, yeah, it was brilliant.
The clip that we played of you there was actually from the last time you were here in studio, and it was May last year. I think it was ahead of the EU Championships in Poland
Yeah.
at that stage. And even then, you were saying your friends were
Yeah,
getting tickets for the
yeah.
final of the Olympic Games. Was it hard for you to contain your excitement in all the months leading up to, first of all, having to qualify in the games themselves?
I was just kind of staying focused on each kind of competition as I went ahead. Really, I wasn't looking too far ahead, and I was trying to kind of get myself away from my friends, and they were just constantly talking about the Olympics all the time for months and months, and that's why the crowd was just full of Irish people, you know,
Yeah.
from my fights in the XL, because they were getting tickets way in advance, so I had to get there really.
It sounds like your friends didn't listen to you when you asked them to.
Yeah. No, my friends were great, you know, in the lead up to
Yeah.
it all, but no, I think everyone was kind of just buying tickets for the semis and the final, you know, in weeks and weeks in advance. So
It's only natural that you were thinking about it as well, and I heard you say that when you visualise it, you'd be close to tears. That's how much it meant to you, kind of even well in advance of it.
yeah, I mean, I've envisioned, you know, winning Olympic gold many times before, and I just can't believe now that I'm sitting here as an Olympic champion. It's an incredible. It has been an amazing couple of weeks for me and my family, and just brilliant.
Did the moment work out as it had when you were envisioning it?
When I envisioned, I envisioned me knocking the guard out in the first round, so
making things a lot easier on yourself. Yeah,
that's it. But no, I probably would have liked to have had a more convincing win maybe, but the final was very, very close. So
yeah,
that's just the way it was. Well, either way, I'm sitting here as an Olympic champion, and everything worked out perfect, and the excitement was just amazing, and I don't think I'd have it any other way. Yourself
and your father Pete have both spoken about being calm even after the second round, even after you're a point behind. I think you were the only two who were actually calm. Everyone else over here, well, is that just the practice? Is that just everything that you've learned over the years, not to panic in that sort of situation?
Yeah, it's just experience, I think, really. I don't think I would have been so calm a few years ago if that happened to me. It's just you know, I've been a couple of times down before a few years ago, and I have kind of panicked, and that's the worst thing you can do in a situation that you're getting picked off then easy shots. And so I think my dad and Zora in the corner were always so calm as well.
Yeah,
and that kind of relaxed me as well.
Katie, the sort of nerves that you felt the morning of the final in particular, was it anything comparable to even World Championship finals? Was it a different level again?
Yeah, it's definitely the most nervous I have been for a fight. I have a knot in my stomach all day. I couldn't eat or anything. I was just thinking about the fight. I couldn't seem to relax all day, and it was the biggest fight in my life, I suppose. And I've always dreamed of becoming an Olympic champion, and I just couldn't relax really. And
is there any way of dealing with that? Do you just have to accept this is because it's so important? I'm going to feel a bit like this.
Yeah, I suppose. I was trying to kind of keep my mind off things and not think about the fight, and do anything possible just to keep my mind away from boxing. But it's so hard. I suppose you just have to get on with things, and I think it's only natural to be nervous for an Olympic final like that.
You've mentioned that you had your phone off. When did you actually turn your phone off?
A couple of days after the final, I turned my phone back on. So
right, and it was off the entire time.
Yeah.
And you didn't watch any other Olympics? Didn't watch it on TV or anything like that?
No, I didn't really get a chance to watch it. Really, I was just kind of focused on my own fights, and I was training while I was over there as well, and trying to get my weight down and stuff, and I didn't see any other events. It's
funny because I would have thought maybe even as a form of release, because you're obviously a big sports fan and you've played other sports, that maybe that would be a way, but you just felt that's not that kind of just encroaches on your own headspace.
Yeah, I didn't. I never. I just didn't want to watch any of the Olympics while I was over there. Usually, if I was at home, I'd be housebound for the 2 or 3 weeks that the Olympics was on, and I just watched every event, but because I was competing in it myself this time, I just wanted to keep myself away from anything really, and just completely focus on my own performances.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the Paddy Barnes approach, just chasing superstars around the place.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell us, the Natasha Jonas fight, certainly watching it at home on TV was incredible. It was just such a sudden burst of noise, of colour, of everything, and it was better than I had imagined that it would be. Was it the same for you?
Oh, it was incredible. I didn't expect so many Irish there. That's the first time I walked out, and I was shocked with I seen Irish flags everywhere, and it was just amazing really, and it was such an exciting fight for everyone as well, for the fans, and for everyone watching at home. It was a brilliant exhibition of boxing, I think, for both of us really, and for women's boxing, and but yeah, I was definitely hit by surprise with the noise of the crowd, and I couldn't believe the amount of Irish supporters there.
Yeah, I think my favourite part of that fight was actually afterwards. You were on the ring apron and you just sort of let out a roar, a big come on. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it's very unlike me as well. Yeah, I don't know really. It's just all the emotion, I suppose, and just the lead up to the fight as well. I was there 10 days before my first fight, and just all the emotion I suppose I let out then near the end.
Well, it's great, I suppose. So in a way, maybe being on that stage with those supporters allowed that side of you to come out a little bit, kind of escape maybe.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't have done that if there's no Irish fans there.
We talk to John Giles regularly on the show, and he always talks about the really best sports people love the pressure. They actually, the bigger the amount of fans, the more people watching on TV, the better. And it certainly seemed that was the case for you over there. You want to show how good you are to everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's you train for the moments like that, like this really. I never kind of thought that I'd be boxing in front of 10,000 Irish fans, you know, for an Olympic gold medal, and everything was just unbelievable over there. And they're the things that you train for. Really, they're the moments that you train, you know, that you dream of and that you train for. So
yeah.
It was unbelievable.
We spoke to Natasha Jonas a few days ago on the show, and she said that she was spotted cheering when you actually got the verdict, apparently, in the BBC TV.
Yeah.
I asked her why she wanted you to win, and she said, I just think she's a great ambassador for the sport. For years there's been no one close to the talent she's got. Everything she's done along the way, the Europeans, the Worlds, I thought, why not cap it off with an Olympic medal, and she deserves it. To get that kind of support from not just a fellow competitor, but a girl that you beat in the quarter-final, it must be a nice feeling.
Well, that's lovely for her, actually. She was supporting me all week after the fight as well, and yeah, it's great to, you know, to get that support from your fellow you know, sports people. It's the biggest satisfaction, I think.
I suppose the personalities involved here as well. Clearly the fights were incredible. The standard, you know, maybe surprised some people, but also like Natasha Jonas seemed like a really interesting character. Ochagava seemed interesting as well, and somewhat spiky, but like it certainly seemed as though all sports need personalities as well as good sports people, and it seems like women's boxing has that. Yeah,
it's been like that for years, really. I'm so happy that it went so well and that everyone, you know, can see that now. And you know, I wanted to go over and then really just open people's eyes to women's boxing, and that's exactly what we did. It was the best week possible for women's boxing, and you know, it's women's boxing's got to be there to stay now in the Olympics, which is the most incredible thing as well. And I think people were worried that it's not going to get enough viewers or enough people in the crowds, but I think the Irish supporters just filled the stadium every time I was boxing. So
yeah,
it was just an unbelievable week for the sport.
Did you find at all, Katie, that the way people talk about it, it's almost still maybe a small bit patronising? Maybe you don't feel that way, but it's almost as though, oh, you know, they're as good as the men, and there seems like this shock among people that women should be able to box to that level. Do you sense that at all?
Yeah, I think people were definitely shocked at the level, but we've been saying it for years, as I said, and I'm just so happy that, you know, people can see that now. And for years and years people were kind of patting me back, oh, you know, well done, you won another gold medal, but they didn't really realise how hard I had to work and how close the fights were actually. So I'm happy that people seeing how tough I had to work to get these medals.
Yeah,
as well.
Even having spoken to you ahead of the EU Championships last year, for example, people probably forget that all these tournaments exist in the lead up. It's not just World Championships, it's not just Olympic Games or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And every competition is a tough competition at the end of the day, and it's international boxing. 1 or 2 points can be the difference between winning and losing in some of these fights. So
we talked about your mindset, Katie, after the second round of the final. What was your mindset after the final round? Because it was that one moment over the course of the entire tournament where we were looking at you and we thought, you're not sure. I think Pete looked confident that it was enough, but you were kind of looking at Pete, looking at Zor, going, I'm not 100% sure I've won. What was going through your mind at that stage?
There was such a big delay near the end for the decision as well, and I was thinking maybe I went back to count back, and I just didn't know what way to score in the last round. I knew I was 2 points up going into the last round, but she caught me with a few shots in the last round, and I caught her with a few shots, and I just didn't know what way it was going to be scored. But when they said 10-8, I knew I'd got it then, and it was just such a big relief then when he lifted me, when my hand was raised for the win. But it was incredible. What
was the conversation with your dad in the corner? Did he tell you that you'd won?
I was just like, did I win? What did you think I won? I don't know. What did you say?
Pete is in the corner here, so he certainly seemed like the body language was good, I suppose, maybe just to convince the judges if needs be there. The few days afterwards and everything that's happened since then, have you even had a moment to yourself really to reflect on the journey that you've been on?
It's been a bit mad now the last few days, just with media and stuff, so we haven't really had a chance to kind of celebrate even as a family, but we're going to go away on holidays during the week, me and the whole family, and it'd be nice to get away for a couple of weeks just to relax and get a bit of sun. And
is that when you have to start thinking seriously about, because everybody's been asking what you're going to do, and I'm not going to ask you now because I'm sure you don't probably know at the moment. Is it on holidays that maybe you'll get a chance to talk about it amongst yourselves and make those decisions?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have a good talk about it and make a decision in the next couple of weeks. We're not going to make any rash decisions really, but we have to kind of look at the contracts coming in as well professionally, and and see what the story is with the sports council as well. But we'll make that decision in the next couple of weeks whether I stay amateur or turn professional.
How have you found the public speaking, the various sort of parades that you've been on?
That's the hardest part of it, I think. No, the homecoming and the receptions, it's just been unbelievable, really. I didn't really realise what was going on at home when I was over there, and then to come back to Bray to maybe 20,000 people was just incredible, really, and the support has been amazing, and I can't say enough about it, really. Yeah,
it's funny that I suppose your experience of it is so much different to everyone has their own experience of things, and you're so much in your bubble that you talk about there. I remember your TV interview at the night you won the fight. Bill O'Hurley was putting it to you how much it meant to the country, and you obviously you didn't know at that stage because there was no way you could.
Yeah, I didn't really realise what was going on at home. We kind of heard stories, a few bits and pieces about how much it lifted the country and stuff like that, but we didn't really realise how much of a reaction it had on people back here, and it was just great to see everyone's spirits lifted, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, how much of an effect it did have in the country.
One thing that struck me, maybe in a more narrow focus, is how much it meant to other people involved in boxing. I know even yourself and your father were thanking Kenny Egan at that time for supporting you over the years, and I know just even from speaking to Andy Lee and Bernard Dunnan, everybody got unbelievably emotionally invested in it. There were tears shed, I think, after a couple of the fights by men who wouldn't usually be crying. Yeah, which is amazing. It seems like it's such a tight-knit community that it's almost like they're out there fighting when you're out there fighting.
That's it. And even when I was boxing out there, the lads that were on the team, like Paddy and Michael, Adam, Darren, and John Joe, they were so they felt the pressure from me as well, and I think they were more nervous when I was boxing.
Really,
for themselves. Like, and we're just such a close team. Everyone is, and boxing, as you said, is a very close knit community, really, and everyone kind of supports one another, and we love to see each other doing well. But the lads were just so nervous for me as well, and it was such a big relief, I think, for them when I won as well. But it was a brilliant.
You sometimes hear, Katie, or certainly I've heard sports people sometimes say that when they finally win everything that they've been striving to win over the years, there's almost an anti-climax to it. It's as though, well, I've done that now, is this all there is, kind of thing. I'm just wondering, did that happen to you? Has that happened to you over the last 2 weeks, or have you very much, are you aware, have you enjoyed what you've won? Has it been what you expected?
Yeah, it's been better than I expected, really. It's never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would be boxing, as I said, in front of maybe 8,000 or 9,000 Irish people for a gold medal, and
so it's been maybe the reaction to you that's what's taken you by surprise, as opposed to your own achievement.
It made it so special for me, really, just the crowd that was there in the XL, and then coming home to 20,000 people in Bray. It was just, the whole thing was incredible, really, and now that I have achieved my dream, I know that the next few years of my life it's going to be just as exciting, really, whether I turn professional or stay amateur and try to defend the Olympic gold medal. So there's always going to be excitement over the next few years, no matter what decision I take.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Katie, congratulations and best of luck in the next few years. More importantly, enjoy your holiday for the next couple of weeks. Thanks so much for coming in.
No problem.